a fleeting memory of passion, a stolen kiss in the warm confines of a luxury car, feels like a lifetime ago for the woman. Her smile then was genuine, lost in a moment of bliss. Now that world is gone. A cold, impersonal voice on the radio announces the return of a titan of industry, a powerful scion from the revered Simon family. The name hangs in the air, a ghost from a past she tried to bury. On a treacherous, snow-swept night, that past comes crashing back into her life. The woman's car collides violently with another vehicle. Behind the wheel of the other car is a young woman, her face a mask of shock and panic. The driver, the niece, stumbles out, her voice sharp with accusation. But her anger quickly evaporates. A figure emerges from the passenger side of a luxury car, a man who commands the biting cold with his mere presence. The niece respectfully calls him uncle, and the woman's world stops spinning. It is him, the man she left 3 years ago. Her fiancé, useless and fawning man, rushes to her side. But his attempts to manage the situation are pathetic. He tries to embrace his fiancée, but she pushes him away, her mind reeling from the shock of this reunion. The man stands impassively under the falling snow, an umbrella shielding him from the storm he is about to unleash. The fiancé, trying to curry favor, blames his own partner for the accident, calling her driving atrocious and offering to fire her on the spot. But the man is not interested in apologies. His eyes are fixed only on the woman. He makes his demand clear. The car, a custom import that landed just an hour before the crash, is worth a fortune. It has no commercial insurance yet. He names a price that is a death sentence to the now bankrupt woman, a staggering $14 million. The weight of the debt is crushing, and her fiancé offers no real support. He only sees the situation as his own problem, his own responsibility to solve, brushing aside her own distress. The man watches this pathetic display, his expression unreadable. He seems to find a dark, tragic humor in their shared history, a past that has led them to this moment of reckoning. The woman, feeling the trap closing around her, asserts that he too bears some responsibility for her current predicament. The air crackles with unspoken history and unresolved pain. He gives her a cold ultimatum, 3 days to find the money. The aftermath of the crash sends ripples through their lives. The woman is haunted by memories of a past where she had to beg for freedom, kneeling in the snow, promising to leave him. She recalls the scorn she faced, told that her humble origins made her unworthy of climbing into his world. The financial pressure is immense, forcing her to make desperate calls, try and scrape together an impossible sum. Meanwhile, her fiancé reveals his true, despicable nature. In the gaudy lights of a nightclub, he schemes with his friends. He talks about women like they are objects to be used and discarded, expressing a vulgar interest in a girl he plans to conquer and then abandon. He is also digging for dirt on a young woman, trying to confirm rumors that she was a sugar baby in college. His friends introduce a well-known socialite, and the name is a shock. It is the same name as the niece who was driving the car. The woman, desperate and cornered, finds herself in the same nightclub. Her fiancé, instead of offering help, presents a humiliating proposition. He tells her that money should not be an issue between them. He suggests that if she kisses him in front of everyone, he will consider helping her with the debt. The woman is frozen with disgust and disbelief. But before she can even react, a new presence cuts through the noise of the club. The man has arrived. He calmly greets the room, then turns his attention to the scene before him. The fiancé, attempting to sound clever, explains the situation with a sickening charm. He tells the man that he was just having a bit of fun with his fiancée, offering her a simple way out of her debt. All she had to do was kiss him, and he would plead her case. The man's calm demeanor breaks. In a swift, brutal motion, he strikes the fiancé, sending him to the ground. He then turns his full, terrifying attention to the woman. He backs her against a wall, his body caging her in. His hand slams against the wall next to her head, his proximity overwhelming. He grabs her arm, his touch both a punishment and a possessive claim.
爱干吗？他都困哪儿了？我不来，你是不是就让他亲了？你误会什么？我们的关系本来就不清不楚。
谁跟你不清不楚的？我们早就分手，3年前就分了。
我又没同意。
分手只需要告知我，不需要你同意。
His voice is low and dangerous as he asks if she was actually going to go through with it. She tries to fight back, her words laced with years of resentment. She reminds him they are nothing to each other, that they broke up 3 years ago. He counters with cold logic, stating he never agreed to the breakup. For him, her departure was a unilateral decision he never accepted. She insists that a breakup only requires notification, not consent. The argument is a storm of past hurts and present power dynamics. She points out that he himself acknowledged her as his ex-girlfriend just the night before. The word hangs between them, a label he both uses and rejects. He leans in closer, the scent of his cologne and the heat of his anger filling her senses. He reminds her that she is the one who needs money, that she is the one in a desperate position. He mockingly offers her another deal, a twisted parody of her fiancé's offer. He suggests she could kiss him instead. The suggestion is cruel, designed to remind her of how little power she truly has. He seems to be toying with her, pushing her to see how far she will break. His gaze softens for a moment, a flicker of something that might be pain. He asks if leaving him made her life better, a question that reveals the wound she left behind. He then shifts his attention to the niece, who has been a silent observer to this drama. In a separate, quiet moment, he has a tense and ambiguous conversation with her. He touches her face, a gesture that is too intimate for a simple uncle-niece relationship. She pleads with him, asking him not to be this way, asking if they can get back together. Her words suggest a deeper, more complicated history between them. This interaction casts his actions toward the woman in a new light. Is his obsession with her purely about their past, or is she now a pawn in a larger game involving his family and his other relationships? Back with the woman, the confrontation continues. She tells him that, in her eyes, he is not a good person. He accepts the accusation with a strange, self-deprecating smile.
宝宝，你第一天认识我吗？我的确不是东西，我是你的狗。
谁是你宝宝啊？你能不能不要乱讲话？谈个手就喜欢骚扰，分了钱更不会。
He agrees, telling her that he is not a good person. He says he is her dog. The statement is shocking, a declaration of absolute twisted devotion and ownership. She recoils, disgusted by his words, telling him he was always like this, even when they were together, but he has only gotten worse since they parted. He ignores her protests, his focus absolute. He tells her he knows she needs time, that he will not push her too hard, but his actions contradict his words. He gently lifts her chin, forcing her to meet his gaze. In a moment that is both tender and terrifying, he leans in and presses a soft kiss to her forehead. The gesture is not one of love, but of branding. It is a promise and a threat. The woman is left trembling, trapped in the orbit of a man whose love is indistinguishable from his cruelty. Her fight for freedom has just begun, and her enemy is the one man she can never truly escape. In the quiet of a room, a man corners a woman on a sofa. He is the CEO, a figure from her past, and his presence is overwhelming. He leans in close, his confidence a stark contrast to her guarded posture. He speaks of her racing heartbeat, interpreting it not as fear, but as a lingering echo of their shared history. The woman looks away, her denial firm, but her eyes betraying a flicker of turmoil. He presses his advantage, questioning if she ever thinks of him, his words a soft poison seeking to undo the years of separation. She tries to maintain her composure, to build a wall against the memories he so easily invokes. Miles away, another story of a past love unfolds over the phone. A man, the gossip, lounges with a drink, casually informing his friend about a delicate situation. The old friend has just returned to the country, and the gossip wastes no time delivering the news. His former girlfriend, a woman named the rival, is now involved with his own nephew. The gossip speculates on the inevitable drama, recounting the old friend's famously proud and unyielding stance on breakups. He had once declared he would never look back, a vow of masculine pride that now seems poised for a difficult test. The gossip's words paint a picture of a man who built his identity on moving forward without regret. The CEO's persistence breaks through the woman's defenses. She finds herself standing by the roadside, his car a silent invitation she cannot refuse. He gives her an ultimatum, forcing her into the passenger seat under the threat of public exposure. Inside the vehicle, a heavy silence descends, thick with unspoken words and unresolved tension. Her hands are clenched tightly in her lap, a small sign of her inner struggle. He breaks the quiet, not with anger, but with a soft accusation of her coldness. She finally turns to him, her voice sharp, reminding him that the words of his friend on the phone were not her own. He continues to drive, the city lights blurring past the windows. The woman remains turned away, her gaze fixed on the world outside, a world that feels safer than the confined space she shares with him. He questions her silence. Her one word replies a clear sign of her disinterest. She finally snaps, reminding him that their story is over. There is nothing left to discuss. Yet he sees an opening, suggesting that what is broken can be mended. He points out the familiarity of their surroundings, a deliberate and cruel move. They are in the very neighborhood where their love story began during their university days. Her face hardens as she understands his implication. She dismisses his unspoken invitation to revisit the past, both physically and emotionally. A lingering debt she owes him hangs in the air, a final tangible thread connecting them that she promises to sever in time. The drive is interrupted by a phone call. It's the party host, a cheerful friend of the CEO, oblivious to the tension in the car. He wants to borrow the CEO's luxurious villa, the one with a pool, for a birthday celebration. The CEO agrees without hesitation. The party host then teases him about his prolonged single status, wondering why years abroad haven't produced a partner. He boasts about the beautiful women at their alma mater, extending a casual invitation.
你在国外这么多年了，也不见你带我出国。外国美女不和你胃口啊。
He mentions that the university's famous campus belle, the woman herself, rarely attends such gatherings, a fact the CEO is all too aware of. After the call, the CEO sits in silence for a moment, his expression unreadable as he glances at his phone. That same night, the woman is in her own apartment, bathed in the soft glow of her phone screen. She is restless, scrolling through her contacts, her finger hovering over his name. The events of the evening clearly unsettled her, cracking the carefully constructed peace she had built in his absence. She lies in bed, but sleep does not come easily. The screen illuminates a face lost in thought, wrestling with a past that has refused to stay buried. The boundary between memory and reality blurs. In the deep blue of the night, a figure looms over the bed. It is him. He moves with a ghostly silence, his presence both a dream and a nightmare. He leans down, his hand gently brushing her hair as he presses a kiss to her forehead, then her lips. It is a tender yet invasive act, a reclaiming of an intimacy she did not consent to. She wakes with a start, her heart pounding, the phantom touch still lingering on her skin. The room is empty, but the feeling of his presence is undeniable. She sits up, gasping for air, her face a mask of shock and confusion. The encounter leaves her deeply shaken, a violation of her sacred space. The next morning, she is on the phone with her best friend, trying to piece herself back together. She dismisses the night's events as a simple nightmare, a lie that tastes bitter on her tongue. Her friend, full of life and excitement, talks about the upcoming pool party, the very one the CEO has approved. She mentions that the host has a crush on the woman, a complication she is in no state to handle. The best friend teases her about the prospect of seeing muscular men. Her cheerful chatter, a world away from the woman's dark and troubled thoughts. The woman tries to play along, but her mind is elsewhere, trapped in the memory of the previous night. The scene shifts to the stark, professional world of her work. Here, the woman is not a vulnerable figure in a complicated romance. She is a capable and respected producer. Her colleagues buzz with anxiety about the return of the company's mysterious top boss, a figure known for his ruthless efficiency. The woman, however, remains an island of calm. She tells her nervous colleague to focus on her work, asserting that they have nothing to fear. In a display of her authority, she makes a swift and difficult decision. She instructs her colleague to replace the third female lead in their current project, an actress with powerful connections, and who also happens to be the colleague's cousin. The woman is resolute, stating firmly that the actress is a liability they cannot afford. She will not compromise her project for anyone. Her decision has immediate and explosive consequences. The rival, an aspiring actress who believed the role was hers, storms into the office.
凭什么换掉我？别做这个，你说谁买？你说这个片了不起？我告诉你，这个片子没人买，我是难记喽。
She confronts the woman with raw fury, her voice echoing through the workspace. She hurls insults and threats, attempting to publicly humiliate the woman by bringing up a supposed past affair, claiming she was used and discarded by another powerful man. The verbal assault escalates until the woman, pushed beyond her limit, slaps the rival across the face. The slap ignites a firestorm. The rival seizes the moment, playing the victim for the assembled crowd. She loudly accuses the woman of abusing her power, of seeking personal revenge, and of physically assaulting an actress. The office, which was once a place of professional respect, turns into a viper's pit. Whispers and accusations follow the woman down the hall. Colleagues who once sought her favor now gossip behind her back, calling her arrogant and speculating about her private life, enjoying her sudden fall from grace. In the midst of this chaos, a figure emerges. It is the CEO. He walks with an air of command that silences the gossip. He is the top boss they all feared, and he has just witnessed the entire spectacle. He calmly calls the woman to follow him, his expression giving nothing away. They walk down the corridor together, the power dynamic between them now starkly, publicly defined. He is her superior, the ultimate arbiter of her fate. Inside the sterile quiet of his office, he turns to her. His first concern is for her hand, a gesture of personal care that feels out of place in their new professional context. She recoils, demanding that he maintain a professional distance. He smiles, a hint of his old confidence returning. He argues that by calling her into his office in front of everyone, he is already being perfectly professional. She defends her actions, explaining logically that replacing the actress was a sound business decision to protect the project from future scandal. She insists her choice was devoid of personal feeling, but he isn't interested in her professional justifications. He looks at her, his gaze intense, and tells her he would have preferred it if she had admitted to firing the actress simply out of dislike.
更喜欢你说，西门女生，我讨厌她。
That he claims is the fierce, unapologetic woman he fell in love with. His words strip away her professional mask, leaving her exposed. The confrontation shifts from business to the very core of their failed relationship. She fires back, her voice trembling with long-suppressed anger, accusing him of never understanding why she left him. He had dismissed her pain with simplistic excuses, believing she was just tired of him, never seeing the real reasons for her heartbreak. She turns to leave, unable to continue the conversation. But he stops her, his voice low and steady. He tells her this time is different. He is back, and he has no intention of walking away again. He is here to stay, to reclaim what he lost, ending with a simple, powerful declaration of his unwavering love.